Hello dear students, welcome to another video of class strength. Today in this video we are going to start a new chapter, that is chapter 3, metals and non-metals. In this video we are going to study about what is a metal and what are the physical properties of a metal. So let's go to the chapter. Yes, dear students, in class 9th, under the topic elements and compounds, you have learnt a small topic, that is metals and non-metals. Then, have you learnt about the definition of a metal and non-metal? Probably not. You might have heard about the term only, that is a metal and non-metal. I will explain you what is a metal. A metal is defined as an electropositive substance. That means what? Metals are electropositive substances. That is a simple definition which we can give for a metal. Let us see what is meant by an electropositive substance. In class 9th, you have learnt a term called valency and valence electron. Do you remember that? Valency and valence electrons. What is meant by valency? Valency, we have learned that it is the combining capacity of an element is called its valency. Then what is valence electrons? Valence electrons means the number of electrons present in the outermost shell of an atom is called its valence electrons. Okay? This valency and valence electrons are having a great importance to define a metal. Let's see what is it. If an element is having 1, 2 or 3 number of valence electrons, 1, 2 or 3 valence electrons in their outermost shell, then we call them as what? We call them as metals. I will repeat. If a substance, element, contains 1, 2 or 3 valence electrons in its outermost shell, then we call those elements as metals. That is a simple definition which we can give for a metal. Is it clear? Now, is this only the 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3 means in the outermost shell, if 1 or 2 or 3 electrons are there, then that elements will have maximum tendency to lose the electrons. So those losing of electron tendency or character is known as electropositive. By losing the 1, 2 or 3 or by losing the electrons, an element will become electropositive in character. So those electropositive elements are termed as what? Metals. Clear? Dear students, have you seen a periodic table? Have you learnt about periodic table anywhere? If you close observe the periodic table, we can see that the periodic table looks like this. It will looks like this. Some ups and downs like this, and you can see that this is the miniature form. I am drawing here a miniature form of a periodic table. In this periodic table, the elements present are divided into 3 colors mainly. They are metals, non-metals and metalloids. We know that around 98% of the periodic table consists of what? Consists of metals. Non-metals is a very small in number. Okay, so it is very important to study about metals. Clear, my dear students? So dear students, we have seen that what is the importance to study about metal. So now we are going to study about the physical properties of metals. Let's see what are the physical properties. There are so many physical properties of metals are there, depends on their uses. Here we are going to mention a very few of them. Let's see the physical properties. First physical property is that about physical state of metals. We know that all the metals are considered as, or generally all the metals are solids. But there is an exception. Which a metal is having exception? Yes, mercury is an exception. Mercury is found in liquid state. Okay, one exception is there, mercury, which is found in liquid state. The second important physical property is that malleability. All of you are aware about it because from 8th standard you are studying about malleability. What is meant by malleability or malleable? We know that if you are going to purchase some food from a restaurant, suppose if you are going to take it by parcel, they will cover the food items in an aluminium foil paper. Is it? Or if you are purchasing a toffee, chocolate, you can see that it is wrapped in silver foil, or it may be wrapped in golden foil, something like that. How is this same as metal, aluminium or silver? Yes, dear students, it is, because malleability property. So what is malleability? It is the property of a metal by which it can be beaten into thin sheets. That is called malleability. The best example for malleability is our aluminium. Aluminium is the best example for malleability property of metals. Now, the next property of metals is third one, ductility. It is also very important property of metal, ductility. You know that in our domestic wiring or commercial wiring, we are using electric wires. Actually, what is that electric wires? They are wires of copper. Is it? And we know that for the distribution of electricity, the electricity department is using aluminium wires to carry electricity from one electrical post to another electrical post, or from one transformer to another transformer. Isn't it? It is only because this ductility, because it is the property of metals by which they can be drawn into very thin wires. Gold is the best example because it is the metal which is showing the most important property, that is ductility. Clear? Now we are going to the fourth property. The fourth property, important property, that is called hardness. What is meant by hardness? We know that metal means rigid. Isn't it? Generally metals are very hard, but some exception is there. Some metals like sodium, potassium, etc., they are termed as soft metals because they can be even cut with a knife. Sodium, potassium, etc., they are considered as soft metals because they can be even cut with the help of a knife. So it is an exception. Clear? Now we have the fifth one. The fifth physical property of metals are high melting point and boiling point. This high melting point and boiling point is because of a high strong metallic bonding between the atoms or between the metals. Now the melting point, high melting point and boiling point, a very good example is tungsten. Have you heard about tungsten? Have you heard about this metal? Tungsten is the metal which is used in an electric bulb. We know that because of its high melting point, we are getting light. Okay, light, heat and light, we can say. But there is also some exceptions. Metals like sodium, potassium, etc., they have very low melting point, so they will catch fire very easily and they are very reactive also. Clear? Now let's move to the another property. The next property is known as lustrous. All metals are lustrous. What is meant by lustrous? Lustrous means the shiny appearance of a metal. Okay, or shining appearance of a metal is called luster or lustrous property. Now, all the metals are having this shiny appearance, so we can say that they are lustrous and they can be polished also. We know that if you have a silver utensils at home, or if you have any silver articles at home, then what we will do, once in a year we will polish it. Why? Because to regain that lustrous property. Okay, now let's move to the next physical property. Another physical property of metals is that is their electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity. All metals are good conductors of electricity. Do you know why? Because of electrons. Because we know that flow of electrons is called electricity and electrical conductivity. So because of the electrons present, all the metals are good conductors of electricity. Now another one is there which is known as thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity. We know at home we used to use aluminium utensils in our kitchen. Why? Because aluminium is a metal. Metals will get heat up very easily. So aluminium utensils are preferred for cooking in kitchen. Clear? So we can say that all metals are having a good thermal conductivity. Another example or another physical property of metals are sonorous. What is meant by sonorous? Have you heard about it? Sonorous property of metals means the metals, when they hit on a hard surface, they will produce a ringing sound. A ringing sound will produce, and that property we call it as sonorous property. Because of this sonorous property, metals like brass used in temples for making bells. So we have discussed some of the important physical properties of metals. Let me recap. First one was hardness, second was malleability, third was ductility. Then we have learned high melting and boiling point, lustrous, electrical conductivity, then thermal conductivity, sonorous. Is it clear? Is it clear to all? Okay. So dear students, in this video we have learnt about metals and physical properties of metals. I hope it's clear to all of you. If any terms are not clear, please feel free to ask or call or leave a comment. In our coming video, we will do some activities which is related to the physical properties of metals. So thank you very much for watching. Please do watch our upcoming videos too. Thank you.